I know that it's my time to shine. Don't need
It's Ivy Slater, and you're listening to Her Success Story podcast, a show where gutsy businesswomen share their success journey. Hi, this is Ivy Slater. Welcome to today's episode of Her Success Story. So if you're just tuning in, we are in this series of women leaders in technology, and it is so much fun to learn various different stories of women leaders, everything they've accomplished, their visions, their missions, what they've done in a space that for so long was such a male-dominated space. Today, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce you to the owner and CEO of Deep Tech, a New York City-based technology solutions provider. Ann Cloyd brings 25 years of proven expertise in delivering reliable, technology-driven solutions that foster business growth. And I know you are a force to be reckoned with. You are a colleague, a friend, somebody I've known now for a while. And most important, you are an innovator. So welcome to Her Success Story.
Thank you, Ivy. I'm very excited to share and be part of this today.
So I always have to ask, what drove you to get into technology? Was this something that you were always involved in? Was this something that came in an unexpected way?
A little bit of both. Originally, I went to school for audio engineering, so I was definitely more on the technical side of career path and wanting to do. But then I found, along with my business partner at the time, that we got more respect for fixing the computer than doing the audio engineering work. And so we very slowly started fixing computers and realized, wait a minute, if we're going to keep coming home at 2 a.m, obviously we're doing something right here. It's time to incorporate, it's time to hire people. And so it was really amazing because he had more of the technology side, I had the business side. So it made a great way of being able to start a team and grow something that I'm really proud of to be the owner of 26 years later.
So having that, there's always that, okay, we had this idea, things started to happen, to then today being a company that's been around over 25 years. And what has worked for you and what have you learned in scaling this?
Well, it's been an interesting journey because I never really thought about wanting to be a business owner, but then I realized growing up, my dad was, my uncle was, my grandfather was. So it just started to happen very organic and naturally. And so it's been amazing to be able to grow it that way and really build it on the trust that if I do right by clients, if I do right by people, if I do right by my staff, people respect that back and has allowed me to grow the business. For our 25th anniversary last year, we did a presentation to show thank you to our clients. And so we decided to put their names each year. And I had that little thought of, oh, do we still have a client? We still have a client who's with us from every year we've been in a business. So I still have clients from 2000. And so it was a really amazing part to realize that looking at this as building relationships, building that experience with our clients, understanding them. Same thing with my staff. One of my senior team members will be with me for 15 years this year. So being able to look at it in a different way of it's not just a contract, it's just not one and zeros. Yes, that's what we do. We fix computers, but it really is building a relationship with both my staff and with my clients. And that's one of my favorite parts of it. So when I realized that that's really what drives this and allows it to grow and I'm good at that part. So I enjoy getting to be, like when my staff came to me and said, hey, we're going to have a baby. I was like, my first Deep Tech born baby, having those moments, those parts of understanding that it really is a relationship. We spend a lot of time at work. We spend a lot of time with clients. And if we look at it that way, it really has made a difference and allowed me to grow the business.
I have to tell you, you're speaking my love language. Is the value of relationships and the value of relationships we build. And that last a lifetime, last eons. And it's whether somebody is a business partner, a client, a team member, and all the ways that evolves, the relationship can still grow. And it's the relationships that continue to grow that truly bloom back to us.
Mhm. Absolutely. I've been fortunate enough to have 4 girlfriends that I have been friends with since teenage years. So we won't say how many years that has been. But if I've been in business for 25, you
Just
can
recently,
guess
teenage years,
that,
just recently,
you
Ed.
know. But like to be able to have those women to go back to at times when I'm starting something new or trying something new, to just know I have the support of somebody who's known me all of my life. It's really amazing to be able to build from there to then same thing, build those kind of relationships with my staff. The number of people I have hitting 10 years with me this year or more is pretty amazing. So means I got to buy a bunch of anniversary gifts, but you know, I love the fact that they've been with me long enough for me to want to do these things for them and share in both sides of the journey together of seeing them grow, seeing their families grow, having them care about the company and wanting to help me grow the business. It's really, truly an amazing part of this.
What has helped you, in I know it took me in my young years, like I put so much energy because I wanted to truly learn how to run a good business, right? It was important to I put energy into learning about the financial structures and selling well and people and developing people and building a team that felt like an extended family. Yet you still have to be the owner.
Yes.
What has helped you, grow into your big girl outfits in a business? I was going to say something inappropriate on Bob's ass, and I decided, like, oh, you should hold that. What helped you grow into that big girl outfit, so to speak? And everybody gets me, and you can hear it all. Everybody knows
Yep.
the expression, so go with it, people.
Absolutely. There's a
As a
couple.
business owner.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple different parts in there. One is very early on, I tried to be what I thought a business owner was supposed to be instead of being myself. I tried to show up at a client in, a pair of slacks and a blazer. It is not me. I'm a blue jeans and blazer girl. And so I realized that when I wasn't being true to myself in it, it made it much harder to do any of these parts. When I started being true to myself in it, my personality, my understanding, my empathy all came out. My genuineness showed to clients, and we started getting clients right and left because I wasn't trying to be something I'm not. So that was one of the very first things that kind of early on formed me into the boss that I am today, of realizing I'm not perfect, but if I do it my way, it makes a big difference. I think that's the second one, is owning the fact that I'm not perfect. I'm human like the rest of us. We unfortunately are not perfect beings as much as we want to be. So understanding that we're going to have ebbs and flows and mistakes and things to fix, and we're going to lose a client. It hurts when that first happens and you don't want to get used to it, but you also understand that's part of being in business. And so once you learn to kind of go with the flow on those things and go, great, but I'll get the next client. We'll balance it. We're a good team. Let's look at what we did wrong. So a lot of introspection, but also understanding that I'm going to make a wrong decision here or there. I own that. I allow myself to learn and grow through that and really take those steps to then now be comfortable of having a leadership team where my team helped me to make the decisions. I don't have to make all the decisions myself anymore. So it's really amazing to have gone through all of these generations of being the business owner and where I am with it, and allowing myself to keep growing, but also allowing myself to keep going. Hey, we might make a mistake, but let's go. We're going to try it. We think this is the right thing. So to me, it's been an important part of the journey of letting myself learn and try, and knowing that if I do it on my core value level, I'll make it through it. Even if it's the wrong call, if I'm still
Right.
doing right by people, it'll be. So for me, it's been a lot of more self introspection has allowed me to grow.
I'm going to chime in for a second on making bad decisions. Or I'll rephrase that for myself, making decisions that could have been better, smarter, or in hindsight, wow, I might have done differently.
Yep.
And you're in this game long enough, and you and I both have been. You learn early it's so important for us to make decisions and execute and keep things moving forward, because being in indecision neuters us.
Yes,
And as long as we make the decisions, we have the opportunity to then course correct them to some degree. But
absolutely.
if we don't make decisions, we can never move forward.
And we
And
can't learn.
we don't
That's,
learn. And
yep, we
early
have to
on,
learn from what we try.
it used to stifle me. I'm like, hold on, I have to think about it. And then, somebody said, you know what? Put a timer on your phone and decide how long are you going to think about it. Is that a minute? Is that 10 minutes? Is it an hour? If it's more than a day, you're not thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is part that a lot of people, even in our personal lives, we get stifled by indecision. And you can't when you're trying to grow a business because it's an ever, especially in technology, it's an ever-changing field. So I sit there and make the best decision I can. And yes, hindsight is always amazing, but it doesn't help us make the decision. But yes, the biggest thing I have found that causes delays and stuff is not taking the chance, not making the decision and trying one way or the other, because you can't learn if you don't grow, and you can't grow by doing the same thing.
So let's
So yeah,
talk
it's
about
very
learning for a second. Let's talk about learning for a second. You know, we forget we learn how to be business owners, right? We learn based on experience. Um, did you have to learn about technology? Did you like how much did you actually like? I get the audio engineer. Okay, so you understand that tech. How was the transferable skills of really moving into the computer technology space?
They were nothing related, but it showed that I had a technical mind. I could understand the troubleshooting theory. I could understand the flow of how devices and things work, of like how the computer gets backed up, how the backup sends it to the tape drive to, like I could follow. So I knew I could learn it because I knew my mind was already capable of those areas. So I was fortunate enough to learn from a good teacher and a lot of hands-on experience. We would sit down and go, great, we got to do this on 8 machines today. So we'd sit down and do 2 machines at a time, and I would learn hands-on. Um, and I love the fact that I did that because now with running the company, I understand what we do because I did that work. It is so important because when I talk to a client or I have to go into a client and say, hey, this is why it's going awry, I actually understand. So like the point you made, Ivy, of learning all the different parts, I think it's important as a business owner to do all parts of their business because you really can't fix things or understand or develop the company without that. So I am so thrilled that I spent those first years learning, and I still learn all the time. My team come into me all the time now going, hey, here's the new thing. I'm like, great, explain. Even though I don't do the support anymore, I still need to keep up on what's going on. And it allows me to help make the decisions for the company better and run it because I do actually understand that part of it. But I was very, very fortunate to have a great teacher that I learned hands-on with.
Okay,
So
let's stay in this conversation of learning, because then there's learning how to sell, and then there's learning how to take yourself out of the weeds of the company to actually run the company. And
mhm,
and those are sometimes the two most challenging learns.
absolutely. Getting from the point of where you're sitting there going, well, I can do it better and I can do it faster, and then I don't have to pay somebody to do it. But then realizing then you don't have the energy to be thinking about the next steps of the company and what do we need to do 6 months from now and a year from now. So moving, it's one of the hardest stages of a small business, of moving from working in the business to working on the business. There is no doubt, because then you're going, I don't have the money, but you don't have a choice. At some point, you have to take that risk on yourself and go, you know what? I'm doing it. I need to hire that person under me so that I can start the planning and the growing and the venturing out to new ideas and how do we really make this work. But it is a tough one because you get stuck in that mode of going, I just got to get it done and I can do it faster and I know what I'm doing. But you can't really grow the business until you get there. I realized when I first started taking an actual real vacation every year, how much better of a boss and business owner I was, because I stopped and put some effort into myself and said, you know what? We might have some boo-boos that I have to fix when I get back, but I need to breathe. I need to
And I'm
grow.
just going to say,
You know,
I'll jump in here. Every so often, I might not say every time, but so often when I take a step out of the business, when I go on vacation, when I travel, when having a fun day with my granddaughter and I'm not working that day or whatever it is.
Mhm.
The creativity and new ideas that kind of just start
Absolutely.
flying through me
Yes.
for this company is massive. But when
Yep.
we're in that day to day, there's no room for those ideas
Yes.
to come through.
Absolutely. You have to stop thinking about it for a little while for your brain to think about it. And that is absolutely how it works for me. And yes, I'm the same way. I have most of my big eureka moments on a beach someplace or, walking through the ruins in Italy or whatever,
Yep.
and I'll just be going, "Hey, this is so awesome. I'm loving my day." But I know that about myself. I know that's how my brain works. Versus, for some people it's meditation, for some people it's going and taking a new course. Finding how you work best in those areas to be able to step out of the company, to be able to do it is an important part of this journey of finding what works for you. Because once again, we're all different as to how we do it. But I'm the same. Most of mine are at dinner with friends or at the beach or a vacation. I'm like, oh, there we go. Next step is, but it's amazing knowing that I can do that now.
It's funny because here's what I think was a hysterically funny story. And I'm going back a good 10 years. Okay. And our Slater Success is in its 18th year this year. And I remember being on a beach with my husband, and he had just woken up from the nap, and I have this dead stare out into the water. And he just turns and he looks at me, he goes, "Oh dear Lord, I know that face. Are we changing the company? What are we changing? What's new? Where are we going next? Because I
Yeah.
know that face. Hold on. What do I have to do?" I was like, "Well, I had this idea."
Absolutely. And having somebody to support you in that and have a conversation with it, whether it is a spouse, a best friend, a confidant in the company, a leadership coach, finding where gives you that support is another part that matters because all of us need it. Even though we're single business owners, sometimes you still need those places where you can turn to. So, like in that example of being able to turn to your husband and go, "This is the idea," because it reinforces a little bit. You say it out loud, it feels right, or it didn't feel right. And it
We
lets you
start playing
really,
with it. We start like
yeah,
molding the dough, so to speak, right? Should we
exactly.
stretch
Why
it?
it's fresh in your
Should we
head.
pat
Yep.
it? What are we doing with this idea? Where are we going? We know
Yep.
it's going to be delicious. I have no idea what it's going to, how it's what shape
What
it's
it's
going to
going to
be,
be
but it's
yet,
going to be
but exactly.
fantastic.
But having that moment to share it with somebody and talk it out is important too, because it unlocks so much more once your brain has gotten to that idea. So that's an amazing story. That's awesome to have those kind of opportunities.
So, and let me ask you this: in building deep tech and in your journey as a women leader in technology, which is a beautiful thing to say for 25 years,
Mhm.
what has surprised you?
It definitely in the beginning took a lot to get people to understand that I did know what I was talking about. And I think that really started to change when I found that confidence in myself, like that little part that I was mentioning of go in my own blue jeans and blazer, because my genuineness started to really push that side of it. But some of the things that have surprised me is how few women are even applicants to try to get the positions. Um, I grew up in construction in South Florida, and I never thought I'd be on a job site again. And as a tech company, we help clients build offices. One of my clients runs homeless shelters, and I built out 8-story buildings with them. I love the fact that I get to go walk through a job site still. So like being open to the different parts of what the business is and finding the joy and the fun in those parts. Because everyone's like, you go walk the job. Yes, I love getting to put the hard hat on and go walk the job site. One of the biggest surprises, I never thought I'd be in that position again, but because technology gets built into the space.
Okay.
So I learned how to draw on the blueprints to say to the architect, here's what I want for data, here's what I need for power, here's what I need in this space. We need an air-conditioned room. All of those things that we work with our clients on, it was fun to get to build and do in that area. So there's definitely been different parts over the years that, have been interesting to see and a surprise in it. I'm now one of the bigger MSPs around in my area and for what we do. And it still surprises me how few of them will support Macs.
Ooh.
And that's one of our specialties. So we support Mac and Windows. And it's like, why do you not? They're like, it's too like, great, send me your Mac clients all day, any day. So it's really amazing to sort of see these differences and go, well, why can't we change that? Why
Right.
can't we do both? There's no reason we can't let clients do things their way instead of what's easier for us. Let's do what's right for them.
Right. And
So
there's
there's,
that expression is you meet the client where they are.
yes, yep, absolutely, because they have their reasons for why they're doing things. I love it when a new potential client says, "How would you move me to the cloud?" I wouldn't. I need to get to know you first. I need to
Right.
know
What's your
how you
business? What
work.
do you, what needs to be, my first question always is why?
Yeah.
Explain to me the why, and then we can navigate the path.
Yep. And so sitting down with them to find out what they like about their current solution so we don't lose that. What do they not like? What do they need? What are their struggle points? How much data do they like? There's a lot of variables that go into it. So it always surprises me when people are surprised by me pushing back and going, no, I have to get to know you first. I can't just do without actually seeing who your business is and helping you to figure out what the right choice is.
As we come to the close of the show, I want to ask for our listeners today, if you were to share one tip for women who are pushing through in technology, creating their pathways, what would it be?
Trust yourself. We're
Ooh,
just as capable in this area. We understand the technology equally well. Doesn't matter that somebody is saying you can't do it or you're a woman or it's like none of that matters in this place. Trust that you understand what you're doing. Trust that you have the knowledge to do it. Trust that there are many of us who have done it, so you are more than capable of doing it. I really think it comes down to trust yourself, believe that you can do it, because we have pushed our way into technology. We've carved the pathways. There's plenty of us. So I think it's really believing in yourself and that trust that you can do this.
I love that. Thank you so much, Anne, for everything you've done in this space, things I know you're continuing to do. I look forward to you have just launched a nonprofit, and I look forward to having you back with our nonprofit series, talking about that as we continue to make headway together and really carve out our spaces for women leadership in technology, women leadership in giving back and helping other women just grow and perform to the best of our abilities.
Absolutely. It's such a needed area. It's such an amazing area. And it's something I'm so excited to be able to be doing both sides of it from the standpoint that I've been a woman in tech for 26 years now. So thank you very much for having me, Ivy. I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you and I look forward to future endeavors.
Absolutely. Listeners, this is always what I like to do at this point in the show. Take a deep breath in. Think about one takeaway. What was the one piece in the conversation that Anne and I had today that was meaningful to you, that made an impact for you? Write it down somewhere. I don't care if it's on a phone, your computer, or a good old-fashioned piece of paper. Write your takeaway down and then identify an action you were committed to take from that takeaway. Every week you join us on Her Success Story. Every week you have a takeaway and an action. And as a community, we will continue to build and grow forward together. If this episode was helpful to you, please share it forward to your community. Hit subscribe. We come into your inbox or your podcast apps every Monday with fantastic interviews like we are in our tech series right now, as well as we will always lovingly have and accept 5-star reviews. So never be shy to ask, ladies, for what you want. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.